Yeah, I used to waste energy trying to explain myself, trying to convince people, trying to prove I belonged. Then one day I realized results speak louder than opinions. So now success is my response. Yeah. I remember every laugh, every doubt, every look they gave, every time they saw my dream and thought it belonged in the grave. They judged my beginning without seeing my potential, focused on my failures while ignoring what was essential. I was broke, lost, confused, afraid, but I never let those feelings become the reason I stayed. I kept moving, kept learning, kept building every day, because I knew the life I wanted would never be given away. While they were talking, I was working. While they were sleeping, I was grinding. While they were watching, I was becoming the person they never imagined. I stopped explaining, stopped defending, stopped asking for approval, and started letting results tell my story. Success is my response to every doubt, every rejection, every time they counted me out. Success is my response. I don't need revenge, I don't need applause, I just keep winning. Success is my response. Every scar, every setback, every lesson made me strong. Success is my response. And the louder they talk, the harder I work. People love to judge the chapter you're currently in, not realizing the story isn't finished yet. They see the struggle and think that's all you'll ever be. They don't understand pressure creates strength internally. I had nights where quitting felt easier than trying, moments where every dream felt like it was dying, but something inside me refused to surrender. A voice that kept saying, remember why you started, remember. So I stayed disciplined when motivation disappeared, stayed committed when progress wasn't clear, stayed focused when distractions called my name, because average was comfortable but greatness demanded pain. Every sacrifice mattered, every lonely mile mattered, every difficult choice mattered, because they all built this. Success is my response to every doubt, every rejection, every time they counted me out. Success is my response. I don't need revenge, I don't need applause, I just keep winning. Success is my response. Every scar, every setback, every lesson made me strong. Success is my response. And the louder they talk, the harder I work. The biggest enemy wasn't them, it was me. My fears, my excuses, my insecurities. The voice saying, maybe you're not enough. The voice saying, maybe this dream is too much. I had to defeat that voice before I could defeat anything else, because confidence isn't given, it's built. One promise kept, one goal achieved, one obstacle conquered at a time. And eventually, the person staring back at me in the mirror changed, not because life became easier, because I became stronger. Now I understand success isn't money, success isn't fame. Success is becoming someone your younger self would admire. One day they'll ask, how did you do it? And I'll tell them, I stopped talking, started working, stopped complaining, started improving, stopped waiting, started building, day after day, year after year, until results became impossible to ignore. Success is my response to every door that closed, every opportunity I lost, every battle I fought alone. Success is my response. I don't carry bitterness, I carry lessons. I don't carry excuses, I carry discipline. Success is my response to every setback, every heartbreak, every challenge life created. Success is my response. And if they doubt me tomorrow, my answer will be the same. I don't need to argue, I don't need to convince, I don't need permission, I don't need validation, because the greatest answer to every critic, yeah, the greatest answer to every doubter, the greatest answer to every obstacle is success. And success will always be my response. The world said no. I said, watch me. They said no, too young, too broke, too different, too ambitious. Oh, every door closed, every doubt got louder. But I had a response. Watch me. The world said no when I first spoke my dream. Looked at my goals like they were too extreme. They saw limitations, I saw possibility. They saw statistics, I saw responsibility. Every rejection letter hit my chest like a stone. Every closed door reminded me I was on my own. But pain has a way of creating a fire, and every setback kept taking me higher. While they laughed, I was learning. While they doubted, I was earning. Every early morning built another layer. Every sacrifice turned me into a player. I stopped asking permission to become who I could be. Stopped waiting for approval and started trusting me. Because the world only sees results when they're complete. They never see the battles that happen in defeat. Every no became fuel, every doubt became power. Every setback became another reason to refuse. I said, watch me. I remember nights when quitting sounded right, when the mountain seemed too high and I was losing sight. Nobody clapping, nobody cheering, just me and my reflection persevering. That's the part they never talk about enough. The lonely road required to become tough. Success isn't built when everything goes your way. It's built in the moment you decide to stay. When the dream feels distant, when the odds feel stacked, when every voice says stop, but you keep coming back. That's what champions are made, that's what legends begin. Not when they receive applause, when they refuse to give in. Pressure didn't break me, failure didn't stop me. The obstacles became the training ground. The world said no, I said watch me. Said I never rise, I said watch me. Said I never win, I said watch me. Now they're looking at the life they said I'd never see. The world said no, I said watch me. Turned every setback into victory. The louder they doubted, the harder I'd be. The world said no, I said watch me. I don't hate the people who doubted me, I thank them. Because every no sharpened my focus, every rejection strengthened my resolve. Every closed door forced me to build my own entrance, and that's exactly what I did. Now I stand where they swore I'd never stand. Built this future with vision in my own two hands. Not perfect, not lucky, not gifted from birth, just willing to outwork every obstacle on earth. I learned belief is stronger than fear. Consistency is stronger than talent. Discipline is stronger than motivation. And persistence changes everything. The world said no, I said watch me. The world said stop, I said watch me. The world said quit, I said watch me. Now the same people watching can't believe what they see. I said watch. Every scar became part of my victory. And if the world says no again tomorrow, I'll smile and say, watch me. Yeah. They said no, I said watch me. And that was the beginning of everything. Yeah. They told me be realistic, stay in my lane, lower my expectations. But I looked around and realized average was a choice, and I refused to make it. Yeah. I came from the bottom where excuses grow, where people kill dreams before they even show. Everybody talking, nobody taking action, waiting on a miracle instead of making traction. I was broke, overlooked, doubted, and ignored. understanding. Had it locked and bolted door, but every no became fuel in my veins. Every loss taught lessons, every scar left gains. While they slept, I was working late, building the future they said couldn't take shape. No shortcuts, no luck, no handouts given, just a vision and a reason to keep living. I got tired of hearing what I couldn't be, started focusing on who I wanted to see. The mirror became my biggest competition. Every day another step toward a better position. I stopped blaming, I stopped waiting, stopped wishing my life away. The moment I took responsibility, everything changed. I refuse to stay average, refuse to stay stuck. When life knocked me down, I got back up. When they laughed at my goals, I worked in silence, turned my pain into purpose, my fear into guidance. Refuse to live small, built myself brick by brick after every fall. Now the same people watching, can't believe what I became. I refuse to stay average, and that's why they remember my name. Success wasn't pretty, it was sweat and sacrifice. 1,000 lonely mornings, 1,000 sleepless nights. Missing parties, missing comfort, missing chances to quit. Choosing discipline every day, even when I wasn't feeling it. I learned motivation comes and goes, but commitment survives when nobody knows. When the crowd disappears and the lights turn black, that's when character decides if you're moving forward or back. I had setbacks that nearly broke me, failures that tried to define me. Moments I questioned every dream, wondering if greatness would ever find me. But pressure creates diamonds, that's what struggle taught. Every battle made me stronger than I ever thought. The world didn't change, I changed, and suddenly every obstacle looked smaller than my mindset. I refuse to stay average, refuse to stay stuck. When life knocked me down, I got back up. When they laughed at my goals, I worked in silence, turned my pain into purpose, my fear into guidance. Refuse to live small, build myself brick by brick after every fall. Now the same people watching, can't believe what I became. I refuse to stay average, and that's why they remember my name. The hardest fight wasn't with the world outside, it was the voice in my head I couldn't hide. The one saying slow down, the one saying get done, the one saying maybe you're not the one. But I learned every champion faces that war. The difference is they keep moving when they can't see the shore. I stopped chasing approval, stopped needing applause, started trusting the process and respecting the cause. Because greatness isn't gifted, it's earned through repetition, through consistency, through focus, through relentless ambition. Every setback became training, every failure became proof that if I survived that storm, I could survive anything too. One day they'll ask, how did you do it? And I'll tell them, I got tired of settling, tired of shrinking, tired of watching life pass by. I decided my future was worth fighting for, and I never look back. I refuse to stay average, refuse to play safe, refuse to let fear decide my fate. I chose growth over comfort, faith over doubt, kept going through storms when others checked out. Refuse to stand still, turn impossible dreams into goals I could build. Now every scar tells a story, every struggle has a name. I refuse to stay average, and everything changed. They told me to be realistic, I became relentless. They told me to settle, I became unstoppable. They told me average was enough, I looked them in the eyes and said, no. And that decision changed my life forever. Yeah, I remember all the nights when the lights got low. Had a dream in my chest but nowhere to go. Everybody had opinions, everybody had advice, but nobody was willing to pay my sacrifice. I was working while they slept, grinding through the pain, taking loss after loss, standing in the rain. Had doubt in my head, had fear fear in my veins, but I knew if I quit, I'd have nobody else to blame. They laughed at my goals, called my vision a joke, tried to tell me that ambition was a path that would choke. But pressure makes diamonds, and I learned that truth. When the world slammed the door, I built my own route. I was tired, I was broke, I was losing my mind, but I kept showing up while they stayed behind. Every scar on my soul became part of the plan. Now I'm looking in the mirror at a different man. I had every reason just to walk away, but something deep inside me wouldn't let me break. Every setback only added fuel to the flame. Now the people who doubted me remember my name. I bet on myself and won. When nobody believed, I still got it done. Through the sleepless nights and the battles I fought, everything I have is everything I bought. I bet on myself and won. Kept moving forward when the road got rough. Now they see the results, but they don't know the cause. I found my way because I never got lost. I stopped looking around for a hand to save me. Realized the person I needed was staring straight at me. No shortcuts, no favors, no easy way through. Just discipline and faith in the things I could do. Every failure became another lesson learned. Every bridge that collapsed left another one burned. But I kept building stronger, brick after brick, while they watched from a distance, hoping not quit. I learned that success isn't luck or chance. It's showing up daily when you don't have a plan. It's believing in yourself when the evidence ain't there. It's carrying the weight when nobody else cares. The pressure got heavy, but I carried the load. Cause greatness is built on the hardest roads. And every time life tried to knock me down, I got back up and took another round. I had every reason just to walk away, but something deep inside me wouldn't let me break. Every setback only added fuel to the flame. Now the people who doubted me remember my name. I bet on myself and won. When nobody believed, I still got it done. Through the sleepless nights and the battles I fought, everything I have is everything I bought. I bet on myself and won. Kept moving forward when the road got rough. Now they see the results, but they don't know the cause. I found my way because I never got lost. There were days I questioned every move I made, days I felt like all my effort went to waste. But every time I almost gave up hope, I remember why I started and learned how to cope. The strongest people aren't the ones who never fall, they're the ones who keep standing through it all. And if there's one thing that this journey has shown, nobody can stop you when you believe in your own. I bet on myself and won. Turned every setback into a stepping stone. The pain became power, the struggle became strength. I kept pushing forward no matter the length. Now the dream I chased is the life I become. If you're waiting for permission, don't. The greatest investment you'll ever make is your own. They said I was crazy, maybe I was, but while they were betting against me, I was betting on myself, and I won. I bet on myself.
Yeah. Everybody wants the crown. Nobody wants the pressure that comes with it. Everybody wants the results. Nobody wants to pay the price. But greatness always sends the bill.
Yeah. I remember looking in the mirror, feeling lost and confused. 1,000 dreams in my heart, but everything to lose. People told me play it safe, take the easy road, but something deep inside me said I wasn't built for normal. I watched friends settle down while I was chasing a vision. Missing parties, missing sleep, making difficult decisions. Everybody loves success, everybody loves to shine, but nobody talks about the darkness that comes before the light. I sacrificed comfort for a chance to become more. Work when I was tired, kept knocking on closed doors. Had days I questioned everything I thought I knew, but quitting wasn't something I was willing to do. They saw the ambition, but they didn't see the pain. The nights I sat alone trying to keep myself sane. The tears, the doubts, the battles in my head. The moments I felt alive and the moments I felt dead. I learned that every level comes with another fight, and every dream demands a piece of your life. You can have excuses or the future that you want, but you can't have both when adversity confronts. The higher you climb, the heavier it gets. legends are built that way. I lost people I thought would be with me forever. Some disappeared the moment life got rough weather. Others couldn't understand why I stayed obsessed, why I kept chasing goals, why they chose to rest. The truth is greatness separates more than it connects. Not because you're better, but because your mindset shifts. You start thinking different, seeing things more clear, realizing fear grows every time you keep it near. There were moments I was broke with a millionaire dream, holding on to faith when nothing was as it seemed. Bills on the table, pressure on my chest, still telling myself one day it'll all make sense. The world only celebrates after you won, but never while you're fighting underneath the sun. Nobody applauds the work nobody sees. That's why most people quit before they reach their peak. I learned discipline isn't doing what feels good, it's doing what must be done when nobody would. It's keeping promises you made to yourself, even when failure's voice is louder than anyone else. The higher you climb, the heavier it gets, the bigger the dream, the bigger the threats. And if you want greatness, there's one thing you should know: every reward has a cost. This is the price of becoming great, giving everything you have when your tank feels empty, standing back up every time you break, believing in yourself when nobody else can see. This is the price of becoming great, choosing growth over comfort every single day. The road gets lonely, the weight gets heavy, but legends are built that way. Nobody told me greatness would feel like war. Nobody told me I'd have to fight myself. Nobody told me success would require sacrifice. But if they had, I would have chosen this path anyway, because I'd rather fail chasing something meaningful than succeed living someone else's life. Now when I look back at the road I've walked, I see every scar's proof I never stopped. Every setback taught lessons success never could. Every storm made me stronger than comfort ever would. The pain became wisdom, the losses became fuel, the pressure became strength, the struggle became truth. I realized greatness isn't money or fame, it's becoming the person who can carry those things. It's mastering yourself when life gets hard, it's refusing to surrender when you've come too far. And maybe I'll never have all the answers, maybe there'll always be another mountain, another challenge, another battle. But that's the point, the goal was never just to reach the top. The goal was to become someone capable of climbing it. The price of becoming great, giving everything you have when your tank feels empty, standing back up every time you break, believing in yourself when nobody else can see. This is the price of becoming great, choosing growth over comfort every single day. The road gets lonely, the weight gets heavy, but legends are built that way. This is the price, this is the price of becoming great. The sacrifice, the pain, the faith. And when the world asks how you made it through, tell them you paid the price.
Yeah. They saw the smile, they never saw the fight behind it. Yeah. I woke up with a weight that I couldn't explain, smiling in public while I'm drowning in pain. They asked how you doing, I said I'm alright, but I was barely holding on every single night. My mind was a battlefield I couldn't escape, thoughts like heavy chains wrapped around my faith. No enemy in front of me, just me in my head, fighting conversations I never really said. I learned how to laugh so nobody would know how broken I was when I was alone. They saw confidence, they saw strength in my face, but didn't see me fall apart in the same damn place. I kept showing up like everything was fine, while I was losing pieces of my peace of mind. And the hardest part wasn't the world outside, it was pretending I was okay when I wanted to hide. You don't see the nights I don't sleep, you don't hear the prayers I keep, you don't know how deep it goes when you're fighting wars nobody knows. Nobody saw my silent war, the battles I was fighting behind closed doors. I was bleeding inside, but I stood tall, trying not to break while I felt it all. Nobody saw my silent war, every smile was a shield, every word was a mask I wore. I was losing myself just to stay strong, hoping one day I'd didn't recognize my own reflection, staring at a stranger with a broken direction. Dreams felt distant, motivation disappeared. In the future I imagined wasn't even clear. Friends said just push through, you'll be okay, but they didn't feel the storm inside me every day. It's easy to speak when you're not in the fire, harder when your own thoughts keep pulling you lower. I question my purpose, I question my worth, wondered if I was cursed since the day of my birth. But somehow I kept breathing, kept walking the line, even when giving up felt better. At the time I turned pain into silence, silence in the grind, hoping discipline could fix what was inside my mind. But no amount of success could fully erase the battles I was fighting in an empty space. You don't see the nights I don't sleep, you don't hear the prayers I keep, you don't know how deep it goes. When you're fighting wars nobody knows. Nobody saw my silent war, the battles I was fighting behind closed doors. I was bleeding inside but I stood tall, trying not to break while I felt it all. Nobody saw my silent war, every smile was a shield, every word was a mask I wore. I was losing myself just to stay strong, hoping one day I'd make it through it all alone. And I know I'm not the only one. There's someone out there right now, smiling while they're falling apart inside. To you, I see you, even if nobody else does. Yeah. Now I'm learning healing, it's not a straight line. Some days I'm strong, some days I decline, but I stop pretending I don't feel the weight. I stop calling it weakness to admit my fate, because surviving is still a kind of win, even if the battle never really ends. And every scar I carry that nobody sees is proof I survived what tried to bury me. I'm not perfect, I'm not fully okay, but I'm still here, still fighting each day. And maybe that's the message hidden in this pain, that even broken people can rise again. Nobody saw my silent war, but I survived everything I was fighting for. I was broken inside, but I learned to stand, holding my future with a shaking hand. Nobody saw my silent war, but I turned my pain into something more. And if you're fighting in silence like I once was too, just know you're gonna make it through. I never saw it, but I did, and I won't forget it, because that silence made me who I am.
Yeah. They laughed when I was building in silence. Now they listen when I speak. Funny how life changes when you don't quit.
They didn't see the nights I almost gave up breathing, when hope felt fake and every dream stopped believing. I was young with a vision, but no one understood. They saw where I came from, not where I said I could. Empty room, cheap light, writing on a broken page. Every word I wrote was a way to escape the cage. They said you're not enough, you should lower your aim, but I turned every insult into fuel for my flame. I had no God, just a voice inside screaming, you're meant for more than the life you're living. So I walked through the doubt when it tried to surround me, built an empire in silence while failure found me. I wasn't lucky, I was learning through the pain. Every scar I earned was a lesson in my brain. They laughed out loud while I was barely surviving, but I was dying inside just to keep my dream alive. Then they laughed in my dreams, now they watch me win. Every door that closed when my strength began. From the bottom where I stood with nothing but pain, now they say my name like they know my name. They laughed in my dreams, now they see the light. From sleepless nights to stage lights bright, I turned my struggles into something they can't deny. Now they watch me rise, now they watch me rise. I remember days I couldn't afford my own peace, smiling in public while I was falling to pieces. No applause, just thoughts that I wasn't enough, but I kept going when the world got tough. Every no was a brick in the wall I built, every tear turned into strength I felt. They called it impossible, I called it delay, because I knew my time would come one day. I lost friends on the way, I lost sleep, I lost faith, but I found something stronger in a broken place. I found discipline where comfort used to live, and I learned the world only takes if you don't give. I stopped asking asking why, I started asking how. Every version of me let me hear somehow. They laughed at the vision I refused to abandon, but I was building a life they couldn't imagine. They laughed at my dreams, now they watch me win. Every scar on my soul is where I've been. From the darkest nights to the brightest stage, I turn my pain into power, turn the hurt into rage. They laughed at my dreams, now they feel the fire. Every step I took was climbing higher and higher. I didn't break when they thought I would fall. Now I stand on the truth that I built it all. Now I'm moving silence, but my impact is loud. Used to be overlooked, now I stand in the crowd. Same people who doubted wanna talk like they knew me, but they didn't walk through the nights that nearly destroyed me. I don't chase validation, I build my own lane. Turn my scars into art, turn my loss into gain. Every struggle I survived gave me power to speak. Now my lowest moments made my victory complete. I'm not perfect, I'm proof that pain can evolve, that broken pieces of life can still resolve. If you're out there right now feeling stuck in the dark, just know your ending starts exactly.
Yeah. No handouts, no shortcuts. Just me and the grind. Yeah.
I started with nothing but a heavy mind. No clear path, just a dream to find. They said wait your turn, I said I'll create mine. Every setback I faced became a sign. Late nights when nobody checked on me, I was building strength they didn't get to see. Every doubt they threw, I turned it around. Built my future from the underground. No safety net, no one to call. I learned how to stand when I had to fall. Every failure taught me how to adjust. Every loss turned into trust in myself. I didn't need saving, I needed belief. I found it in struggle, I found it in grief. What they called impossible became my start. I built my life from a broken heart. I made my own way up, step by step, through every mistake that I won't forget. From the bottom when nobody knew my name, now I walk through fire without the shame. I made my own way up, I didn't wait. I turned every no into something great. They see the result, but they don't see the climb. I built this life in my own time. They didn't believe when I said I'd rise. Too busy laughing while I changed my life. But I stayed focused when it got dark. Took every broken piece and built the spark. No blueprint, just pressure and pain. Learning how to grow through loss and strain. I wasn't lucky, I was disciplined deep. While they were sleeping, I refused sleep. I had to become what I needed most. Turn my silence into a powerful voice. Now I don't chase approval or fame. I've already built my name. They saw struggle, I saw direction. Every failure built my correction. I didn't wait for a helping hand. I became the plan. I made my own way up. No fear, no doubt. Every closed door showed me another route. From the bottom where nothing was mine to take, now everything I have is what I make. I made my own way up, I earned my place. Every scar I carry is part of the race. They see the glow, but they don't see the pain. I walk through fire, I embrace the rain. Now I move quiet, but my impact loud. Used to be unseen, now I stand in the crowd. Not because I changed who I am inside, but because I refused to hide. Every step was earned, every inch was fought. Every lesson came from the battles I caught. I don't need luck, I don't need fame. I built myself with my own name. And if they ask how I made it through, I say I stayed down until I grew. No shortcuts, no borrowed way. Just work every night and day. I felt, I learned, I built, I rose. I made my own way up, I didn't bend. Every struggle had a reason in the end. From nothing at all to something real. This is exactly how I feel. I made my own way up, I proved it true. Every version of me led me through. No one saved me, I saved myself. And built this life from nothing else. Yeah, I made my own way up, and I'm not going back down.
Yeah. No permission, no approval. Just results. They didn't open the door, so I built my own. Yeah. I started where nobody expected to win. Just a quiet kid trying to fit in. No support system, no guiding light. Just wrong turns every single night. They said wait your turn, don't move too fast. But I knew my future wouldn't last in the past. So I took every doubt they threw in my name and turned it into fuel for the flame. No handouts, no easy way through. Everything I got I had to outgrow too. I learned real quick what it takes to survive when nobody's coming to help you rise. Every closed door made me knock harder. Every no made my vision sharper. I wasn't chosen, I wasn't allowed, but I still stood tall in the middle of doubt. I stopped asking for what I could take, started building from every mistake. If they wouldn't let me in their space, I created my own place. I made it without permission, no one gave me the green. Every step I took came from what I've seen. From nothing at all to something they fear. Now they wonder how I got here. I made it without permission, I broke every line. Every limit they said I left behind. No approval, no hand, no helping sign. Just me, my grind, and time. I remember nights I questioned my worth, feeling invisible since the day of my birth. Watching others get chances I never received, while I built belief in what I believed. They didn't see the work behind closed doors, the silent battles, the mental wars. Every failure taught me how to adjust. Every setback rebuilt my trust. I wasn't lucky, I was relentless instead, turning I can into something I said. I had to become what nobody believed, to prove to myself what I could achieve. I learned rejection is part of the game, but quitting me staying the same. So I kept going when hope was thin, until the world had to let me in. No permission, no validation, just discipline and dedication. I didn't wait for a sign from above, I built it with blood and love. I made it without permission, no one gave me the key. I unlocked every door by believing in me. From the bottom where nobody knew my name, now they speak it the same. I made it without permission, I didn't obey the doubt. I found my own way out. Every scar, every loss, every climb I made was the price I paid. Now I move different, I think on my own. Comfort don't live where ambition is grown. I don't need approval, I don't need praise. I survived my hardest days. They watch from a distance, trying to understand how I built this life without their plan. But they don't see the nights I stayed awake, when everything inside me started to break. I turned pain into structure, struggle into drive. I learned how to truly feel alive, not from applause, not from fame, but from becoming more than my pain. And if they ask how I got this far, I say I used every scar. I didn't wait. Yeah. They called it madness when I spoke my truth, but they never understood what I was going through. So I kept quiet and let the pain talk. Now look at me, I turned the broken into walk. They call me crazy just because I believed in a life they said I never achieved. Every dream I had they tried to erase, said I never escaped this broken place. I was talking in silence when nobody cared, smiling in public but inside I was scared. Every you can was a bullet they fired, trying to kill everything God desired. I remember nights when I couldn't sleep, staring at ceilings, falling too deep. No hand to hold, no voice to guide, just a war in my head I couldn't hide. They laughed when I said I would rise someday, now they watch every move that I make today. Funny how silence turns into fame, when pain becomes power when you win the game. I was down, I was lost in the rain, but I learned how to breathe through the pain. Every word that they used to destroy turned into fuel I now deploy. They call me crazy until I proved them wrong. Now my silence turned into a victory song. I was nothing to them, now I'm everything they see. From the lowest to lows, I became what I need. They call me crazy, but I never broke down. I turned every loss into a crown. Now they whisper my name like I'm something divine, but I was just broken, rebuilding my mind. I stopped asking people to believe in me, started building a version they couldn't see. Every rejection became my degree in the school of pain and mentality. I lost fake friends on the way to the top. They loved the idea of me, not what I got, so I cut off ties, let the dead weight fall. Had to lose everything just to gain it all. I was writing my future in scars and ink, while they were too busy to even think. I wasn't gifted, I was disciplined pain, turning every breakdown into gain. They called me unstable, said I never last, but I was too focused on outgrowing my past. Now every doubt they threw in my face is the reason I'm standing in this place. I cried in silence while they laughed out loud. Now I walk different, I don't need a crowd. Every tear I dropped in the dark of night turned into vision and sharpened my sight. I didn't change, I just became everything they said I never claimed. Now they study me like I'm a lesson learned, but I built this fire while the bridges burn. No shortcuts, no luck, just pain and grind. I reprogrammed every doubt in my mind. They see confidence, don't see the cost, don't see the battles I almost lost, don't see the nights I wanted to quit, but something inside said don't forget it. So I kept going when it made no sense, built my future off pure defense. Now every step that I take is proof that crazy just means I saw the truth. They call me crazy until I proved them wrong. Now my scars turned into an anthem song. I was buried in doubt, but I rose through the flame. Now they look at me different when they hear my name. They call me crazy, but I built my throne from a world that told me I'd end up alone. Now I stand where they said I'd never be, the proof that pain can set you free. Yeah. They call me crazy, but crazy was just the beginning.
Yeah, they told me slow down, said I wasn't built for this road. Every dream I carried felt too heavy to hold. Had my back on the wall, no hand to pull me through. Just a heart full of fire and a vision nobody knew. Every note hit hard like a stone to the chest. Every doubt tried to convince me I should settle for less. People laughed at my goals, said I was chasing the impossible, but pressure makes diamonds and pain made me unstoppable. Late nights, no sleep, just faith in a plan. Learning how to stand when life wouldn't lend me a hand. I was fighting battles nobody could see. The world said no, but that wasn't the end of me. Every scar became a lesson, every loss became a guide. Every time they closed the door, I found another way inside. The world said no, I said watch me. Tried to break me, couldn't stop me. Every fall put strength inside me. Now I'm standing where they said I'd never be. Watch me rise, watch me fight, watch me turn my dark to light. They said I couldn't, yeah. Now they see the world said no, I said watch me. I remember all the days I was doubting my worth, wondering if my dreams were bigger than what I deserved. But I kept moving forward when the road disappeared, because courage isn't living without fear. Every setback Setback taught me something. Every failure built my skin. Every mountain that I climbed prepared me for the next one. Again, I was carrying pain like a weight on my back, but I learned that resilience is what keeps you on track. The same people who doubted now ask how I succeeded, not knowing how many times I almost didn't believe it. When the storm kept getting stronger, I became stronger too. The harder life pushed against me, the harder I pushed through. The world said no, I said watch me. Tried to break me, couldn't stop me. Every fall put strength inside me. Now I'm standing where they said I'd never be. Watch me rise, watch me fight, watch me turn my dark to light. They said I couldn't, yeah. Now they see the world said no, I said watch me. Yeah. The fighters and believers, the ones who keep on climbing even when nobody sees them. This is for the people who've been counted out before. Remember, every note can become the reason you want more. You don't need permission, you don't need their approval. Sometimes your greatest victory starts with your refusal. The world said no, I said watch me. Every obstacle just taught me. Every wound became a story. Every struggle led me closer to my glory. Watch me rise, watch me stand. Built my future with my hands. They said I couldn't, yeah. Now they see the world said no, I said watch me. I said watch me.
Yeah. Everybody wants success. Everybody wants the results, the money, the freedom, the respect. But nobody talks about the decision. The moment you choose pain over comfort, discipline over excuses, growth over fear. My success didn't start when people noticed me. It started with one hard decision. I remember looking in the mirror one night, tired of hearing my dreams but not seeing them in sight. Had a head full of goals and a heart full of doubt, wondering if I had what it took to figure it out. I was stuck in a cycle I created myself, blaming circumstances, blaming everyone else, waiting for motivation like it was coming to save me, while opportunities passed and life kept changing. I had excuses lined up like soldiers in a row, reasons why I couldn't, reasons why I should go slow. But deep down I knew what I didn't want to hear. The thing holding me back was staring in the mirror. That truth hit hard, harder than failure, harder than rejection, harder than fear. Because suddenly I realized nobody was coming, no rescue, no shortcut, no perfect moment, just me and a choice.
Keep living the same life,
or change it,
keep making excuses,
or face it,
keep waiting for someday,
or start today. Everything changed the moment I chose a different way.
Success started with one hard decision,
One moment, one choice.
one new vision.
I stopped running from the work, stopped hiding from the pain, and the day I chose discipline, nothing stayed the same.
Success started with one hard decision,
When nobody believed, I stayed committed. Every dream I've achieved
started with this one hard decision.
The hardest part wasn't working, it wasn't sacrifice. It wasn't waking up early or putting in late nights. The hardest part was letting go of the person I become, the version of myself that quit when things got tough. The one who wanted results without earning the right, the one who loved comfort more than changing his life. I had to kill old habits, destroy old patterns, walk away from distractions and all that mattered. Friends didn't understand, some disappeared, some laughed, some said I'd never make it. But growth is lonely sometimes. Success demands separation, and not everybody can go where you're headed. I learned that the hard way, but every lonely night built a stronger mind. Every sacrifice bought me more time. Every setback made me more prepared, and every obstacle proved how badly I cared. There were days I wanted to quit, days I questioned everything, days I couldn't see progress, days I couldn't see anything. But winners are built on easy days, they're built in moments when quitting feels safe.
Success started with one hard decision,
One moment,
one new vision.
I stopped running from the
choices. People see success and think it happened overnight. They see the victory, but not the years behind the fight. They don't see the mornings when you wanted to stay in bed, the battles with yourself inside your own head, the doubts, the fear, the setbacks, the tears, the moments you almost gave up 100 times through the years. They don't see the pressure, they don't see the cost. They don't see how many times you felt completely lost. But that's where great formation lives, not in comfort, not in applause, not in attention. It lives in the unseen world. The sacrifices nobody celebrates, the effort nobody notices, the commitment nobody understands. That's where success begins, and that's where I found mine. Because one day I got tired of talking, tired of wishing, tired of waiting, and I made a decision. A hard one, a life-changing one, to become the person my dreams required. If you're listening right now, standing at a crossroads, wondering whether you should keep going, hear me. Your future is waiting on a decision your fear doesn't want you to make. The life you want exists on the other side of discomfort. The opportunity, the breakthrough, the success is waiting. But first, you have to choose. Success started with one hard decision. One choice to believe when there was no reason. One choice to fight when quitting felt easier. One choice to grow when staying the same felt safer. Success started with one hard decision. The day I stopped making excuses, the day I stopped blaming others, the day I stopped waiting, the day I started building brick by brick, step by step, day by day. That's how dreams become reality. That's how goals become reality. That's how goals become achievements. That's how ordinary people create extraordinary lives. Success started with one hard decision, and that decision changed everything.